The 2024 Motogp season was one of the most historic in the history of motorcycle racing. Jorge Martin's success in winning his first world title was not only an extraordinary personal achievement, but also marked a new era in Motogp. As the first satellite team rider to win the title in the modern era, Martin proved that factory team dominance is not the only key to glory. However, as the 2025 season gets underway, various debates and controversies have begun to emerge, highlighting the challenges the defending champion will face. Can Martin maintain his performance and prove that his title is not just a fluke? Let's discuss it in detail. Jorge Martin has started the 2024 season with an exceptional performance for Ducati's satellite team Prima Pramac Racing. Since the beginning of the season, he has shown impressive consistency, often finishing on the podium and scoring important points in every race. Although not always the fastest in each series, his strategy and composure on track have paid off. One of the defining moments of his journey was the season-ending race at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Entering the final race with a 24-point lead over his closest rival, Francesco Bagnaia, Martin only needed to finish ninth to secure the title. With a smart race strategy and without taking excessive risks, he managed to finish third and secure the 2024 Motogp World Championship. Jorge Martin's success in winning the title was not without controversy. One of the main issues that arose was the assumption that Martin's victory was heavily influenced by Ducati's decision to give Marc Marquez the Ducati GP23 bike, rather than the GP24 used by Martin. This decision was seen by some as a crucial factor in giving Martin an advantage in the championship. Former LCR Honda Sport Director Oscar Haro has openly expressed his opinion that the final result of the championship could have been very different if Marquez had been given the opportunity to use the Ducati GP24 bike. According to Haro, the difference in bike specifications played a big part in the race results, and if Marquez had access to the latest bike, he had the potential to beat Martin for the title. Throughout the season, Marquez has been able to put in exceptional performances despite riding a bike that was a year older. This strengthens the belief of some parties that with the same technological support, Marquez's chances of becoming world champion would be much greater. This statement has sparked a heated debate among MotoGP fans and experts. Some parties support the theory that Martin has benefited from this situation, while others believe that his success is still valid and worthy of appreciation, because it is based on his consistency and ability to manage each race throughout the season. The debate over the extent to which bike specifications affect championship results has long been a hot topic in MotoGP. Each season, motorcycle manufacturers compete to present innovations and technological updates aimed at improving the performance of their bikes in terms of speed, stability, and durability. Even small changes in aspects such as aerodynamics, acceleration, or braking systems can have a significant impact on race results, especially in close competitions like MotoGP. In the case of Jorge Martin and Marc Marquez, it is clear how differences in bike specifications can affect the performance of riders on the track. Martin rides a Ducati GP24, a bike with the latest specifications and several technical updates. Meanwhile, Marquez has to adjust to the Ducati GP23, the previous version of the bike, which is still very competitive but does not have the same improvements as the GP24. This makes Marquez have to work harder and adjust his riding style to stay competitive with other riders using bikes with more advanced technology. However, although the bike factor plays an important role, many argue that Martin's victory was not only determined by the technical superiority of the GP24. He still faces stiff competition from teammate Francesco Bagnaia, who also rides a GP24 but has struggled to maintain consistent performance. In addition, Marquez's adaptation factor from Honda to Ducati is a challenge that cannot be ignored. His ability to adapt to the characteristics of the new bike is likely to have a greater impact on his race results than the difference in bike specification itself. With the 2025 MotoGP season fast approaching, one of the big questions is whether Ducati will finally give Marc Marquez full access to the GP25 bike, the latest version of their flagship machine. This decision has the potential to change the dynamics of the competition, because if Marquez gets a bike with the latest specifications, the fight for the World Championship could be even closer and more interesting than in previous seasons. The pre-season tests at Sepang and Buriram provided an early glimpse of how the competitive map will look next season. Marquez finally got the chance to ride the Ducati GP25, and the results were very promising. He posted a competitive time and looked more comfortable with the bike than he had been last season. This impressive performance certainly adds to the speculation that with full support from Ducati, his chances of winning the title will be even greater. On the other hand, Jorge Martin, who has now joined the Aprilia team, has also shown great potential in pre-season testing. Although he still needs some time to get used to the characteristics of his new bike, he was fast and showed his ability to compete at the front. Martin's adaptation to Aprilia is a notable factor considering his potential as a serious title contender. Meanwhile, Francesco Bagnaia, the 2022 and 2023 world champion, continues to show solid performance during testing. Although he is not always setting the fastest times, his strategic approach, which focuses more on endurance in long races, can be a big advantage as the season progresses. With these three top riders at the top of their game, the 2025 season looks set to be one of the most exciting and competitive in MotoGP history, with every detail potentially deciding who will be crowned champion. Ducati may still be the most favored team to win the title in the 2025 season, given their dominance in recent seasons. However, this does not necessarily mean that they will have an easy season without interference from their rivals. Several other teams have shown very promising developments and have the potential to be a serious threat to Ducati's dominance on the track. One team worth considering is KTM. The Austrian team has made significant improvements in several technical areas, particularly in terms of cornering ability and bike stability in different track conditions. This is evident in the impressive performances of Brad Binder and Pedro Acosta during pre-season testing. Binder, a consistent performer over the past few seasons, is maturing in his race management, while Acosta, one of the most talented young riders in the sport, continues to develop rapidly and is ready to compete with the top riders. If KTM can maintain this positive momentum, they could be one of the teams to put pressure on Ducati throughout the season. Meanwhile, Aprilia cannot be underestimated. This team continues to improve the performance of its bike and is seriously competing at the front. The presence of Jorge Martin has the potential to help Aprilia achieve better results than last season. Although the bike is still adapting to different tracks, Martin, who is aggressive and quick to adapt, could be the key to the team's development. In addition, Marco Bezzecchi and Aleix Espargaro have the potential to surprise this season. With their experience and speed, they could be a serious threat to Ducati in the fight for the podium. On the other hand, Yamaha are in a rebuilding phase after several disappointing seasons. The team is still trying to find the best solution to improve the performance of their bike, especially in terms of top speed, which has been one of their main weaknesses. Fabio Quartararo, as Yamaha's main rider, continues to fight hard to bring the team back to the top. He is joined by Alex Rins, who also has a wealth of experience and racing skills that should not be underestimated. If Yamaha can make significant improvements before the start of the season, it is not impossible that they will be able to spring surprises in several racing series and disrupt the dominance of other more superior teams. With the competition getting tighter and the performance of several teams improving, the 2025 season is predicted to be one of the most exciting in recent years. Ducati may still be the overwhelming favorites, but they will have to be wary of the threat from KTM, Aprilia and Yamaha, all of whom have the potential to shake up the competition. With so many factors changing and the competition getting tighter, MotoGP 2025 looks set to be a season full of surprises. Will Jorge Martin prove himself a true champion and defend his title? Or will Marc Marquez finally return to the top with a more competitive bike? Leave your thoughts in the comments.